Hello, YouTube! Today I want to talk about a very overpriced, very underrated deck that is slipping through the cracks of EX3 Examon, the big blue-green badass Royal Knight guy. Examon, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions too, by the way, is at like the very low end of Tier 1, bridging on Tier 2. It's Tier 1 though, in my opinion. If it gets its pieces, it's near impossible to stop, and it's consistent enough because it's blue. The only times it really does lose, though, is if it just doesn't get its pieces. And that's kind of typical of most decks. It just hits Examon a little more because your big combo boss is level 7 and you need 2 level 5s. We'll get into it. Don't you worry. But my deck is doing really well. Has a 70-ish% win rate right now against meta decks such as Melga and Bloomlord. And that's good enough for me. And just one too. So if you guys like the content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn the notifications bell on to smash potatoes. That way you know when all these amazing Digimon videos go live. We will start with the babies, as we always do. The babies are the most important part of the deck. And we are still on the 4 copies of Baby Domon. Baby Domon is an all turns once per turn if your dude becomes unsuspended, get 1000 DP. We need Baby Domon specifically because we are playing... A, the effect is good, but B, we are playing 4 copies of Dracomon from EX3. Normally, it costs 1 to evolve. You guys see that? But if you evolve it on a Baby Domon, it is free, which is cool. It comes up. Alternatively, you can play it. If you play it, you roll top 4 cards of your deck. You add a green or blue card of Dramon in its name and an Examon. So it can +2 you, +1 you sometimes. It's pretty cool. And then it has an all turns effect that's exactly the same as the Baby Domon. So if you get enough of these stacks going, you know, your Examon stack when you get it might get pretty freaking big, which is pretty cool. We're playing 4 copies of the original Dracomon, the blue one, on play real top 3, add a Dramon to your hand. That's it. I play it sometimes and usually get something, so that's pretty cool. And because of the meta we're in, we're playing 4 copies of Madoki Betamon. Madoki Betamon here being very important, as a lot of strategies in the EX3 rely on memory. This deck doesn't have an in-archetype Pillowmon or Pomomon that stops you from playing card effects, so we run the 4 Madoki Betamon and affect to floodgate the opponent a little bit. But we do play 12 rookies. I have not wished for another rookie. We don't have those stupid security rookies yet. If anyone knows when we get them, please advise, because the security Beluko or whatever is really cool. But we don't have that, so these 12 rookies will have to do just fine. And they do. They do just fine. We'll move on next to the champions of the deck. The lineup is pretty straightforward in this deck. We try to play as many cards as 4s as possible in order to have consistency. 4 copies of Quadramon, the new one, the new blue one is where we start. It has an ability called Evade, which means if this Digimon will be deleted, you may suspend it to prevent that deletion. That's pretty good. You know, just a spread deletion prevention effect, if it's not suspended, is really good. Really cool example. If you like Gaia Force it, suspend it, it's safe. There you go. That's Evade for you. It normally costs 3 to evolve, but if you evolve it on a Dracomon, which is 2/3 of your rookies, it costs 2 to evolve, and that's okay. The Inheritable gives you Evade as well. So this dude is all about Evade, and Evade's pretty sick, not gonna lie. Then we're playing 4 copies of the green Quadramon from EX3. It has Blocker and gives you Blocker Inheritable. And it's the same evolution thing as the Quadramon. Blocker, having a big Examon blocker, is really hard for the opponent to deal with. With Evade on top of that. Really difficult for the opponent to deal with it. And then we're playing 4 copies of the final good Quadramon, the Pot of Greed Security Quadramon. On play, draw 2 cards. So if it isn't security and you play it, if you get it, you play it, you draw 2 cards. Card is amazing. Actually, like, I'm not going to say broken, but like, Pot of Greed for 6 memory on its own is good. Pot of Greed out of security for free? That's something else. And sure, there are the occasional times we evolve for 2, but like, I think I've done that once. Like, once. I've played 11 matches. I've evolved Quadramon once. It's not that often, guys. Anyway, that's it for the champions. 12. Again, just pure consistency. We're playing 4 of each of our rookies. We're playing 4 of each of our champions. We're trying to make this as consistent as possible. And that's all there is to it. We're going to move on now to the ultimates. We're playing 4 copies of Wingdramon. So it costs 4 to evolve usually, but if you evolve on a Cordramon, which by the way, all of your champions are Cordramons, it evolves for 3. So if you're a Memory Tamer, you're safe. You're good. And it has Evade and Inheritable Evade. So just like the Cordramon Blue EX3, same thing. During your turn, though, Examon can treat this card as a level 6 for DNA Digivolution, which is broken, which means if you have this and its counterpart I'll show you in a second, you can basically DNA into a level 7 with 2 level 5s, which is nuts. Nuts! Absolutely insane. And then end of your turn, you can DNA Digivolve. Great! That's one half of our ultimates, and the other half is Groundramon, which has the blocker thing going for it, exactly. Blocker either by itself or on Inheritable. Cool. Very nice. Evolves for 3 in a Cordramon. Check the box. And Examon can be level 5, just like this. And end of turn, you can DNA Digivolve. It's very consistent. It's very good at what it does. That's it for the ultimates. Again, all 4 of so far. All 4 of so far. Our main cards that we need to get into Examon are all 4 ofs. That's very crucial in my opinion. We're going to move on to the Megas next. We play 4 copies of Slayerdramon. This card is nuts. It's very good. So, 4 to evolve, but it costs 3 on a Wingdramon or Groundramon. Great. All turns, once per turn. When this Digimon becomes suspended, unsuspend it. So it has a free little thing there. You know what I mean? So, like, imagine a scenario where this has Evade. Okay. Maybe they Gaia Force it. Okay. So, you use Evade. Well, Evade will suspend the Digimon, and then you unsuspend it by his effect. It can still be a blocker if you have this underneath it or whatever. That's pretty freaking good. But if you think that ability is good, his next ability is even better. Start of opponent's main phase. You may suspend one of your Digimon with Dramon or Examon in its name to force one of your opponent's Digimon to attack. Do you know how tantalizing that is for your opponent? You're basically saying, yeah, if you promote your Digimon and you know the Digimon on the field, it's attacking me. There's nothing you can do about it. So it forces the opponent to play differently. And God forbid you choke them at 1 and play Ice Wall with this card on the field. Oh boy, that's pretty nuts. That's pretty stupid. Anyway, that's Slayerdramon broken, in my opinion. And then you have an end of opponent's main phase Inheritable. It says, you suspend one of your Digimon, Dramon or Examon in its name to force one of your opponent's Digimon to attack. They say end of... I don't know why they keep doing that. It's start of opponent's main phase, not end. So, if this evolves into an Examon, you get the same thing. An Examon's bigger, harder to kill than Slayerdramon. This card's crazy. Because deck space is tight, though, we are playing 3 of the secondary Mega. It is Breakdramon. Same evolution requirements for the, the Cordramon, Wingdramon thing. Sorry, the Wingdramon, Groundramon thing. And then all turns once per turn. When this Digimon becomes suspended, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So instead of unsuspending itself, it suspends another thing, which, can help you control your opponent's board if they're going wide and whatever. And then all turns once per turn, when one of your... I can't fucking read. When one of your Digimon with Dramon or Examon in its name deletes an opponent's Digimon and by balance survives, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. That's wild. You basically kill something in battle and just trash a card for free. Just crazy. Now, Slayerdramon, in my opinion, is better than this because you still will be taking securities in this deck, like no problem. But the fact that Breakdramon is there just to kind of help facilitate easy breezy security takes, it's pretty crazy. And the Inheritable carries over the security burning effect. So if you have it with an Examon, you're doing some pretty crazy things too. That's it for the level 6 Megas. And now we're going to move on to the 7s. And for those of you who are price and wallet sensitive, you'll be very happy with me. We're only playing the 3 Examons. Only 3. I think 4 is a bit unnecessary. you definitely do not want to open this card in your hand. You definitely don't want to do that. It's a card you want to find later on if you can. So we play 3 copies of it for that reason. A DNA Digivolves, we already know that. It's pretty cool. Evolves for 5 if you have to hard evolve it. Okay. This card's pretty crazy. When Digivolving, you may place a green or blue Digimon with Dramon in its name from your hand under this as a bottom Digivolution card. So you're making your stacks. But wait, there's more. When DNA Digivolving, you may play a green or blue Digimon with Dramon in its name and tell them DP or less from your hand. That'll pay its memory cost. From your hand. So, I don't know if you understand what that means. When Examon is DNA Digivolved, you can fucking play Slayer Dramon. You can just do that. Or Ground Break Dramon if you want to. But you can just play those guys for free. For free. When you DNA Digivolve this card, you get 2 free bodies. 2 big free bodies. That's the combo. That's what you strive to do in this deck. And then all turns once per turn when this Digimon becomes suspended, unsuspend it, and suspend something else your opponent has on field. Examon's a big boss monster. If you pull it off and you play Sledgermon, you probably won the game. Just throwing that out there. That's how you win the game. And it's very easy to do because, you know, you're playing 4 of all your cards up until the 6s, and you only need your 2 level 5s to do it. It's not that hard. You can get outsped and you can lose if your opponent outspeeds you, but besides that, you're winning the game. Straight up. So that's it for the Digimon. We're going to move on to the Tamers, which we're playing 3 copies of Davis. Adds a blue and a green on play. It'll almost always grab you 2 cards, which is pretty wild. It's a Mary Tamer as well. Davis is broken in this deck. I would play 4, but there is just no room. That's the only Tamer we play. For options, this is where the changes for my 24-hour deck profile happen. We're playing 2 Hammer Sparks. 2 is still fine. 2 is good. You have enough memory to help do what you need to do sometimes. It's fine. It's good. 1 copy of Ice Wall, because it's at 1. And you can't play more than it, unfortunately. Yeah. 1 copy of Megadeth. Megadeth, being a 5-cost, basically removal card, is really cool. The final card we're playing, this final behemoth of an option card, has saved my ass against all this going wide nonsense. Giga Death. Yes. This is the first time in Digimon I've played Giga Death. The first time ever. It's been out since BT8. This is the first time I've played it. And let me tell you, it's a card. This card's a card. So for 9, suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon, then place up to 10 of your opponent's suspended Digimon at the bottom of the opponent's deck in any order. It wipes Bloomlord, Jessmon, and whatever other going wide strategy you're fighting against. It just clears their board, empties their board, drains their board dry. It's broken. If things are getting out of hand, if they're building resources, if they're like positioning a board to OTK you, yeah, Megadeth is nice. It gets rid of 1 big threat, but Giga Death clears it. Done. Done deal. Since security, it suspends 1 and returns 1 to deck. That's fine. That's it. Giga Death, I'm so happy I tried it. I've been nothing but impressed with the 1 copy of Giga Death. But that's it. That's it. That is Examon, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe this deck has what it takes to top events and even win events. If you high roll all day and you can be faster than your opponent, you got this. Easy peasy. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys, and we'll see you later. Bye.